Joe Biden is out with a new ad on healthcare. Let's take a look at that.
From the moment he took office, Donald Trump has tried to destroy Obamacare. No one is more determined to protect it than Joe Biden. The Biden plan builds on Obamacare with a public option and lets you keep your private insurance if you want to. It expands coverage, lowers costs, and lowers drug prices. If you want to build on Obamacare, trust Joe Biden. After all, he and President Obama passed it in the first place.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
You know, at some point he's going to get a tattoo on his forehead that says, I'm Obama's VP. Because that's like about half of what he's running on is just repeating that over and over in various ways. By the way, how long has it been? How many days has it been since we knew that Obama wasn't endorsing you, Joe? What day are we on of your campaign? Because that's how many days it's been without the guy who you were the VP to endorsing you. Doesn't seem like a very strong vote of confidence. He famously said, and we learned this recently, Joe, you don't have to do this. That's what Obama said when Biden told him I'm going to run. He said, Joe, you don't have to do this. That sounds like a guy who knows that it ain't going to go too well. That's what that sounds like. And it really is. Biden is something else, man. He's shameless because he came out and pretended to save face. He was like, I told Obama I didn't want his endorsement. Excuse you? You know how quickly Joe Biden would accept Obama's endorsement? So quick it would make your head spin. How quick he'd accept that endorsement. Unbelievable. He would love it if Obama endorsed him, but Obama doesn't want to endorse him. He doesn't want to endorse him. So he went out there and tried to save face, and he's totally shameless now, though, about, like, every other week he does something to remind everybody, Obama, no, I was his VP. Obama. Oh, God, Joe. It's really sad. It's like you have nothing to really add. You have nothing to say. So you're just like, and this gets to the main point of me covering this here. Joe Biden's entire campaign basically boils down to, let's go back to 2015. He is the return to normalcy candidate. But I have bad news for Joe Biden. You guys miscalculated. Because if things in 2015 were so great, Donald Trump could have never won the election in 2016. And again, I know, he lost the popular vote, but he won the Electoral College, and his support was dispersed throughout the country in the exact right way for him to win. So if things were really so great, we would have never had Trump in the first place. So what Joe Biden is calling for is to go back to the status quo, which led to Trump, which means it logically follows that he would be setting up the next Trump to get elected. The next unhinged demagogue fake populist to get elected. So it drives me crazy. Like, his campaign is basically coasting off the past. In a weird way, he should be running on the slogan, Make America Great Again. But to him, America being great again was 2008 to 2015 when he was VP. But I think he's going to learn the hard way that's not something that sells. It's just not. It's not something that sells, man. Because there were marginal improvements under Obama, but we still lived in, a relatively broken system. I mean, most of the gains for the economic recovery went to the top 1%. Corporate profits were through the roof. Wages were still stagnant. It was still 75% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. You did have a better healthcare situation, but it still wasn't good. The piecemeal, middle-of-the-ground approach is worse in terms of its outcomes, but then also it's more politically impotent because it's on baby deer legs, and you open up the door for the Republicans to go after it viciously, and they did. And that's exactly what Trump did and what the Republicans did. And that's why 7 million people lost their health insurance. So you can give him credit for Obamacare while still understanding it was a Band-Aid over a gaping gangrenous wound. We have to get to Medicare for all. It's notoriously way harder to cut those programs than it is to do, a weird middle ground piecemeal approach where you're mandating everybody by private insurance, which is what Obamacare is. So, it's just not good. Like, he's basically openly arguing to go back to normalcy, go back to 2015, and let's just do marginal tweaks and changes. He doesn't even say universal coverage in his ad there. He doesn't even say that. He says it like increases coverage. Okay, how many people are you comfortable with leaving uninsured? And that answer is a couple million, because his plan does leave a couple million uninsured. He says keep private plans if you want to. It's really stunning how much somebody can run embracing the status quo and business as usual, because that's what he's doing. And we have the recent evidence, man. 2016, we had an exact candidate whose argument was embrace the status quo and continue business as usual because that guy's really bad. That was Hillary Clinton, and she lost. And Biden's strategy is the exact same. I'm sure a lot of the same staffers who were on Hillary's campaign are on Biden's campaign now. And again, I think they're going to learn a lesson the hard way.